Just take a second to say goodbye. It's the difference between laugh and cry. It's the buzz of the atomic sky. A million lives getting by. It's a dream we dreamt ourselves, putting priority upon the shelves. It's a ditch where my mind delves, and where the ego swells. It's the buzz of the atomic sky. A million lives getting by. It's a dream we dreamt ourselves, putting priority upon the shelves. It's a ditch where my mind delves, and where the ego swells. It's the rocks upon the hill, longer than you, they've been sitting still. It's the buffalo hunt to kill, the mother takes spirits to till.
I wish I could say how surprised I am at how rapidly spectacle has captured our attention, our time, and our valuable energy. Spectacle has ruggedly diminished opportunity for growth. Spectacle is whittling away, little by little, the supreme center of our existence. Passions now seem to lie in sharing spectacle rather than critiquing it. I'm sure you all know where I'm coming from. This is the most important video,
article, documentary, broadcast, and research I've ever shared. Stop what you are doing and pay attention right now.
Spectacle is relatable. It speaks our worldview. It questions prevailing narratives. It provides detailed, accurate information. It fills us with so much explosive truth bombs, we detonate it all over our social media feeds. And the cycle continues. Welcome to Spectacle. In Society of the Spectacle, Guy Debord writes, quote, "The spectacle grasped in its totality is both the result and the project of the existing mode of production. It is not a supplement to the real world, an additional decoration. It is the heart of the unrealism of the real society. In all its specific forms, as information or propaganda, as advertisement or direct entertainment consumption, the spectacle is the present model of socially dominant life. It is the omnipresent affirmation of the choice already made in production and its corollary, consumption. The spectacle's form and content are identically the total justification of the existing system's conditions and goals. The spectacle is also the permanent presence of this justification, since it occupies the main part of the time lived outside of modern production." End quote. We've been guilty of participating in spectacle, but we make no apologies for critically analyzing what we believe to be the machinery working overtime behind the spectacle. Our spectacle teaches something. Our spectacle teaches empowerment. Our spectacle is not compromised. Our spectacle is critical. Some others, in the spectacle of information assimilation, are doing the same. Unlike the work we do, though, well-funded spectacle is grotesque and captivates an audience reliant on the malformed to invigorate its worldview. From there, inner spectacle harbors seeds in the brain until a mangled growth of spectacle regurgitation replaces discussion, analysis, argument, and the synthesis of new ideas. This is simply childish. Debord goes on to write, quote, "But real adults, people who are masters of their own lives, are in fact nowhere to be found, and a youthful transformation of what exists is in no way characteristic of those who are now young. It is present solely in the economic system, in the dynamism of capitalism. It is things that rule and that are young, vying with each other and constantly replacing each other." End quote. Spectacle has also replaced the third space, The third space is where the living come together, relax, and engage in rational, stable, comfortable, and secure dialogue, and it gives birth to new ideas and new methods of progress and achievement. Behind spectacle, the third space was rationed away at the onset of the national emergency on March 13th of 2020, mutilating concepts that would empower civilians and drive society forward. Spectacle killed the third space.
You're listening to The Corbett Report. CorbettReport.com.
When the third space is killed and there is no synthesizing and sharing of critique and ideas in a human form, the popularized become iconic messianic characters in the world of spectacle. It's only natural since the people are starving for answers. While they grow to new heights, these masters and designers of their own universe and curated content and intent, the need to keep predicting life becomes an absurd yet constantly calculable risk to outdo itself. They lose themselves in their intent and seek to continue the information flow to those that frantically need them. A strange balance of codependency and the call for individual freedom breaks the fourth wall with these accidentally appointed thought leaders. Like Oedipa Ma chasing Tristero, there is this insatiable need to expose the shrouded truth, a feverish rush to get to the bottom of why the world is spinning lopsided on its axis and share this outrageous knowledge with anyone and everyone. Plus, it helps to have a gimmick. With the help of spectacle, we must intrude one world into the other, but this too gives rise to spectacle, which itself has become a living, breathing thing. It devours life-centric examinations, and the information itself becomes the only thing that matters, and all imperfections that operate outside of information assimilation are discarded and act as roadblocks to the assimilation itself. In the end, spectacle in whatever narrative must eat everything in its path. Spectacle is titillating. It's engaging and enraging and sends dopamine hits of euphoria into us, mainlining our pleasure sensors, and we're dosed, addicted, enraptured, and we feel some kind of symbiosis with spectacle. It gets us. It loves us. It wants us. It can relate to us. It's hypnotic and lulls us into a trance. The more outrageous the spectacle, the more we understand that there's nothing verifiable behind the spectacle. The money invested into the production value of spectacle proves it's simply spectacle for spectacle's sake. The hope is to throw you a bone so you can rip it apart and attach spectacle to your own preconceived worldview. The more appalling or silly or startling spectacle is, the more we know it's nothing more than a simpering, feckless man or group of men behind the flimsy curtain, pushing buttons and creating spectacle to cause fear and outrage. Speaking of fear and outrage, But that's the goal of spectacle. It suspends all practical applications of science and math and physics while claiming it holds true to science and math and physics. Once the people discover that spectacle has been dictating their life and distorting their choices at their own expense, then this is how the war begins.